Honorable Kirwa, you have a statement.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to ask the following statement. Honorable Speaker, sir, according to Constitution of Kenya, 2010, Article 185, and the County Government Act 8, Section 8, and PFM Act 107, Section 2, and Public Finance Management Act Regulation 25A and B. I am requesting the Leader of Government Business to issue a statement to the Honorable House in respect of the following. 1. State of the county payroll pursuant to the PFM Act 107(2) and PFM Act Section 25A. 2. Measure the CEC has taken with approval of this House to bring the wage bill of to 35% required by the PFM Act and PFM subsection 25B. 3. The total payroll in detail, which includes as at 30th June 2019. Payroll for casuals, staff on contract, permanent and pensionable, and interns. Number 4, records of all employees for casuals, interns, and contract. 5, the entire staff establishment and organogram for the county executive approval by the county assembly. 6, all employees employed from 1st January 2017 to date. Number 7, the entire recruitment process from departmental requested approval by the County Public Service Board, advertisement, shortlisting list, interviews, and appointment. Number 8, list of all employees employed with no establishment. The leader of the government business should investigate the matter and give extensive report within a very short time and devolve the concreted report to this House for the consideration and approval, remedials, and action taken within a very short time. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rest there.
Thank you very much. As a very weighty matter, and I give the indulgence of this House at least to get their views before we give the Leader of Government Business to respond. The Deputy Majority Leader.
Issues of employment in this county, Mr. Speaker, we really don't know what is happening. I am glad that the Honourable Member has raised on the floor of this House to seek to know what is really happening. Some 3 days ago, Mr. Speaker, I was told by a member of my ward that there is employment going on in the county. Could you please assist me to secure employment? And I was wondering which department, which section. You know, Mr. Speaker, employment has been going on in this county without proper procedure. So we want to ask really what is, as representatives of the people in this county, we really want to know what has been going on, especially in the last maybe 3 months. We are told, we have not confirmed, and this is something that I wish that the Leader of Majority would confirm. There's so much employment that has been going on in the last 3 months, which we have no idea about. Mr. Speaker, coming to the issue of internship, 2 members of my ward who are in that program in the last financial year actually approached me to say that some of their colleagues who are in that program were absorbed in the government. And they were actually employed on permanent and pensionable. So, Mr. Speaker, I wonder if it is true that some of those people who are in that program and were employed, I wish that all of them, those who are in that program, could be absorbed, because this is injustice to some of the people that we represent.
Thank you, Deputy Majority Leader, for that concern. Honorable Ramadhan.
My concern is that I was thinking this issue, Mr. Speaker, as we are asking the leader of government business to give us a statement. To me, I have a feeling, even inside me, to meet this person who is leading the department that is employing. Let this person come to this house and explain to us which criteria they are using to employ and why are they over-employing. Because I know now the leader of majority will go and ask to be given a report. You may be given verbal report, but I would think let us link also with the chair, Public Service Board in this house, to summon the CC or CO in charge of public service management to come to this assembly and maybe can be in a position to explain to us which law are they using in this employment that is taking place as per now, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Sarah.
It's only recently that we saw the county government did some better work when they advised the 29 positions for those who went to retire. That even up to date, we don't know even whether the recruitment was done well to replace those ones who went to retire or not, Honorable Speaker. So I believe when the statement will come to this House, we shall get to know to the root matter whether the employment that are being done in this county, Honorable Speaker, are done in the right way and they meet the standards that are expected to be followed and the channels that are being used also to arrive at those employment opportunities, Honorable Speaker. And it is a right of this Honorable House, being the representative of the people, to know how these recruitments are being done, for us to be satisfied that there are no any ill motives, Honorable Speaker. For some few days ago, the character of even some of those purported to be employed illegally is warranting.
Chair, for public service, do you have anything to add?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, this House as an oversight function is indeed, Honorable Speaker, we share the same in the understanding that we wait upon the statement and the reply of the leader of majority, who is the leader of government business, which will keep impending action to possibly even the existing committees like the public service management, perhaps to get an opportunity to intervene and also find out in depth of what the concern of the members of the Speaker. Thank you so much.
Maybe now we can give to the leader of government business to respond, then we give away forward.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you very much. First and foremost, I would like also to thank the statement seeker, Honorable Kirwa, a member representing Kapsoya Ward. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a house of rules and regulations. At the same time, this is a house that has been tasked to make sure that we keep and we abide by the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are an oversight house that we are supposed to oversight anything and everything that is done by the county executive. Mr. Speaker, sir, questions raised by the member are so pertinent and they'll need a very broad look into these matters so that we can get to the root cause of this. Mr. Speaker, sir, these questions raised will really inform this House if there are such things like ghost workers, if there are such things like employees employed irregularly. Those questions will be answered once we get the correct facts and figures from the departments by us, this House. Mr. Speaker, sir, I don't want to comment here that there is unemployment, there is employment, but as members have said, there's a lot of in the rise of the wage bill, and that we should go deeper into it and make sure that we know why is the wage bill increasing? Is it because of our revenues, as been said by Honorable Pius? Is it because of the CBA, the CBA agreements by the unions? Is it about, I don't know, the increment of wages yearly as per the unions or the Public Service Act? But all this will just come in a statement that we are going to answer to this House. Mr. Speaker, sir, even if I try, I cannot answer all those questions. There are many and they are crucial. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to ask for two grantings from your seat. Mr. Speaker, sir, working together with the Committee on Public Service Management, Mr. Speaker, sir, I could ask you grant and give me other 7 members, that we form another committee, that committee will now sit down and formulate their own rules of engagement and make sure that we engage each and every department with their own employees and their own payroll with the Committee on Public Service Management. Mr. Speaker, sir, the second request is that you give me up to 5th of September 2019. 5th September 2019, then we can bring that report to this House, because it will not be a statement, it will be a very big report.
From the chair, following the request from Leader of Government Business, and looking at the weighty issues that is being raised. One is goes to the fundamental function of this House, which has been raised by the honorable member in the statement, that is Article 185, which gives the legislative authority to this House and also to perform the oversight. And it is well expounded in County Government Act, if you look at Section 8. Issues concerning the wage bill, which is well expounded as per the BFM Act. If you look at BFM Act 107, part subsection 2, and also defined under the Public Finance Management Act regulations, that is Regulation 25 and A and Regulation 25B, whereby in Regulations 25, in the BFM Act 107, it is, part 2, it is very clearly that this House has the sole mandate, working with the CEC in charge of finance, to set the wage limit vis-a-vis the total revenue that is realized that is given to the county, and also under Regulations 25. The CEC in charge of finance needs to give the limit in terms of the wage bill, which should be approved by this House. And in that wage bill, if you look at Regulations 25, it should not exceed 35%. That is a matter that is a fact of law that we need to look at. He has also raised other pertinent issues in terms of procedures. That has been taken in terms of getting the new employees, which is also a fact of law that the body that is enshrined in terms of law to employ, apart from the ones that the governor can do, especially the CECs. It is the domain of the County Public Service Board, and there is a whole procedure in terms of request, in terms of advertisements, in terms of shortlisting, and in terms of interviews, so that each and every Kenyan is given an opportunity to be able, as requested by Leader of Government Business. Maybe what we need to ask ourselves is that why are we here? We are here purposely because the way this House is defined, we work under committees. And each committee has been assigned a specific role to be able to oversight each and individual department in the executive. And if you look at our sectorial committees, they are mapped to each and every department. So it's very important as a committee, and also as the chair to that committee, you always ensure that you look at the law and then you look at the operation of your department, so that we make sure that we conform to the law. And if we are not conforming to the law, what measures are we taking to make sure that we are conforming to the law? So what the leader of government business has requested, first of all, what I want to call upon this house, make sure that the committees are working properly. They are sitting and looking at the issues that they are supposed to look at. And if there are any red flags, you let this honorable house look at it and you bring up issues so that it doesn't get to a point whereby we flout our constitution, we flout the law, and we don't have the remedial measures that are supposed to be done. So I want to agree with the leader of government business that for this issue, since it's a weighty matter, we give him a signal to compose the ad hoc committee of 7 members, which will be approved by this house. The 7 members will be approved by this house. And we also give him up to 5th September 2017 to look at the matter and come up with a report to be tabled in this house so that we can now know the way forward. Thank you very much.